Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something we all face at some point: rejection, betrayal, or being replaced. Whether in relationships, jobs, or life itself, it stings when someone moves on from us like we never mattered. But here's the deal. Don't get mad, just do. Let me break it down into 6 powerful points. When someone replaces you, whether in a job, a relationship, or any part of life, it's natural to feel anger, resentment, or even self-doubt. But here's the thing, getting mad only gives away your power. The more energy you spend being upset, the more control you hand over to the very person or situation that hurt you. Instead of reacting emotionally, the most powerful move you can make is to reclaim your energy and shift your focus back to yourself. Think about it. Why should you allow someone else's decision to dictate your peace of mind? When you let frustration consume you, you're essentially telling yourself that your worth is determined by someone else's approval. But that's not the case. You were valuable before they walked into your life, and you remain just as valuable after they leave. The only difference is how you choose to see yourself. Instead of wasting time asking, why did this happen to me, start asking, what can I do with this moment? That one shift in perspective can change everything. One of the biggest misconceptions we have is believing that other people hold the key to our success or happiness. A job that let you go, a partner who moved on, a friend who replaced you. All of these things might feel like losses in the moment, but the truth is, they are opportunities in disguise. When someone replaces you, they're doing you a favor. They're making space in your life for something bigger, something better, and most importantly, something that aligns with who you are meant to become. The key is to stop reacting and start responding with power. This means no angry texts, no desperate attempts to prove your worth, and no seeking closure where it doesn't exist. Instead, redirect your energy toward yourself. Pour that passion into your personal growth, invest in your dreams, work on your fitness, dive into learning new skills, focus on your career, and elevate every area of your life. The moment you shift your energy inward, you stop being the victim and start becoming the creator of your destiny. There's nothing more unsettling for someone who expected you to break down than to see you rise up stronger than ever. People expect anger, they expect sadness, they don't expect you to thrive, and that's exactly why you should. You don't need to prove anything to anyone except yourself. Let your transformation speak louder than any words ever could. Let your success be the response they never saw coming. Life is full of unexpected changes. People will come and go, situations will shift, and doors will close. But the one thing that should never change is your belief in yourself. You are not defined by who stays or who leaves. You are defined by how you rise. So don't waste another second being mad. Stand tall, hold your head high, and walk forward with confidence. Because when you shift your power back to yourself, you become truly unstoppable. When someone replaces you, it's easy to feel like you've lost something important. The initial reaction might be to compare yourself to the person who took your place, to wonder what they have that you don't, or to let self-doubt creep in. But here's the truth. When one door closes, another opens, but only if you're willing to walk forward instead of looking back. Instead of dwelling on what's lost, the best thing you can do is upgrade your life, level up in every way possible, so that the person or situation that let you go realizes they didn't replace you, they lost you. The mistake many people make after rejection is settling into self-pity. They allow their disappointment to define them instead of using it as fuel for self-improvement. They stop pushing themselves, they dwell in the past, and they let their confidence take a hit. But that's exactly what you should never do. When life shakes you up, you have 2 choices. Shrink into your circumstances or rise above them. Choose the latter. Instead of letting pain weaken you, let it make you stronger. Instead of chasing after people who don't see your worth, start working on yourself so that you become undeniable. Upgrading your life doesn't mean changing for someone else, it means evolving for yourself. If a relationship ended, don't try to prove your worth by finding a rebound. Instead, take this time to become the best version of yourself. Hit the gym not out of revenge, but because taking care of yourself is an act of self-respect. Focus on your passions, explore new hobbies, and invest in your personal growth. Pick, read, learn, and sharpen your skills. When you continuously improve yourself, you stop feeling like you need validation from others. You realize that their replacement of you says nothing about your value, but everything about their inability to appreciate what they had. The same applies to career setbacks. If you were replaced at a job, don't waste time resenting your employer. Use that energy to upgrade your skills, expand your knowledge, and position yourself for better opportunities. The most successful people don't cry over doors that close. They find bigger doors to walk through. They turn setbacks into setups for their next big move. That's exactly what you should do. Instead of chasing what's lost, build something greater. The best revenge isn't anger or desperation, it's evolution. It's showing up as a version of yourself that they never expected. It's reaching new levels of success that make them realize they let go of someone truly extraordinary. But by then it won't matter. Because when you truly upgrade your life, you won't even care about who replaced you. You'll be too busy becoming so much more than you ever were before. Keep moving forward, keep growing, because when you upgrade, you make it impossible for anyone to ever replace you again. When someone replaces you, betrays you, or underestimates you, the instinctive reaction is to lash out, defend yourself, or demand explanations. You want to prove your worth, make them see what they lost, or even hurt them the way they hurt you. But here's a secret. Silence is the best revenge. Not because it's passive, but because it's powerful. When you refuse to engage in unnecessary drama, you show an unshakable strength that speaks louder than words ever could. Silence unsettles people. When someone expects you to beg, fight, or react emotionally, your calmness confuses them. They begin to wonder why you're not breaking down, why you're not retaliating, and why you're not chasing after them. The absence of your response makes them question their own actions. They start filling in the blanks themselves, and more often than not, they will realize they made a mistake. This is because human nature craves validation. People want to feel important. When you stay silent, you deny them that satisfaction. More importantly, silence gives you back control. Words spoken in anger or pain can weaken your position. When you lash out, you allow emotions to dictate your actions, often saying things you might regret later. But when you choose silence, you maintain dignity. You show that you don't need to justify yourself to anyone. You demonstrate that your value isn't determined by their opinion or decision. This kind of control is rare and it commands respect. Staying silent doesn't mean doing nothing. It means redirecting your energy inward. Instead of wasting time explaining yourself to people who don't deserve an explanation, use that time to work on yourself. Focus on your growth, success, and happiness. Let your actions speak for you. When you continue to thrive while they expected you to crumble, that in itself is the ultimate statement. Imagine someone leaving you, thinking you will fall apart, only to see you become even stronger, more successful, and completely unbothered. That realization will hit harder than any words ever could. Silence also protects your peace. Engaging in unnecessary battles drains your energy. It keeps you tied to the past, replaying conversations and scenarios in your head. But when you choose silence, you choose peace. You choose to walk away without carrying the weight of resentment. And that peace, that's priceless. It allows you to move forward without bitterness, making space for better things to come. Eventually, life has a way of making things come full circle. The people who doubted you, replaced you, or underestimated you will see the truth, not because you told them, but because your silence and growth made it undeniable. And by the time they realize your worth, you'll be so far ahead that their opinion won't even matter anymore. That's the beauty of silence. It not only serves as revenge, but also as your greatest strength. When someone replaces you, disrespects you, or underestimates you, your first instinct might be to prove them wrong with words. You may want to argue, explain yourself, or seek validation. But the truth is, no amount of talking will ever convince someone of your worth if they've already chosen to overlook it. Instead of wasting energy on words, let success do the talking. The most powerful response is to elevate yourself so high that they can't ignore you, and by the time they realize their mistake, you're already thriving in a better place. Success is the greatest proof of your value. It's easy to engage in back and forth debates trying to make people see your worth, but that's a battle you don't need to fight. Instead, channel that energy into self-improvement. If someone left you, let them see you glow up, not by posting petty quotes online, but by truly working on yourself, mentally, emotionally, and physically. If you lost an opportunity, don't waste time complaining. Instead, invest in your skills and build a version of yourself that is undeniable. Success is silent, yet it speaks volumes. One of the best things about letting success speak for you is that it naturally demands respect. When you continue to grow, achieve, and evolve, the people who once overlooked you will take notice. Maybe they won't admit it, but deep down, they will realize they underestimated you. And that moment of realization, that's far more satisfying than any argument ever could be. Success doesn't mean revenge. It means transformation. It's not about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. The moment you shift your focus from external validation to internal growth, you take back control. You stop caring about who doubted you because you're too busy building a life that makes their opinions irrelevant. You start focusing on what truly matters, your goals, your dreams, and your happiness. And in that process, you become someone so powerful that no one can ever overlook you again. The best part, by the time people realize your success, you won't even care anymore. You won't need their approval or recognition. You'll be too busy living your best life, surrounded by people who see your worth without you having to prove it. The past will become nothing more than a lesson, and the people who replaced you will simply be reminders of how far you've come. So, the next time someone doubts you, don't waste time trying to convince them of your worth. Instead, work in silence and let your results make the noise. Let your glow up be the response they never saw coming. Let your achievements be the answer to every question they had about you. Because at the end of the day, success isn't just about winning. It's about becoming the kind of person who never has to prove their worth again. Your self-worth is not something that should be up for debate. It's not dependent on who accepts you, who values you, or who chooses to stay in your life. Yet too often people allow their worth to be dictated by external factors, relationships, jobs, opinions, or social validation. They believe that if someone replaces them, ignores them, or treats them as if they don't matter, then maybe they truly don't. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Your worth is not determined by others. It is defined by you, and it is non-negotiable. The moment you start questioning your value because of someone else's actions, you give them power over you. You allow their choices to dictate how you see yourself. But think about this. Just because someone fails to recognize gold doesn't mean it stops being valuable. It doesn't lose its worth. It simply falls into the hands of someone who doesn't understand its value. The same applies to you. Just because someone doesn't see your greatness doesn't mean it's not there. It just means they weren't meant to appreciate it. Too many people make the mistake of tying their self-worth to relationships. They believe that if someone chooses them, they are lovable, but if someone leaves, they are unworthy. But love should never be a measurement of worth. Someone's inability to love or appreciate you the way you deserve does not make you any less deserving. The right people will never make you feel like you need to prove your worth to them. They will see it, respect it, and honor it without hesitation. The same principle applies to career and success. If you are overlooked for a job, rejected from an opportunity, or replaced by someone else, it doesn't mean you're not capable or talented. It simply means that particular door wasn't yours to walk through. Instead of internalizing rejection as a reflection of your inadequacy, see it as redirection. Understand that your abilities, skills, and potential remain unchanged, regardless of someone else's opinion or decision. Self-worth is about setting standards. It's about refusing to settle for less than what you deserve. It means not begging for love, not tolerating disrespect, and not accepting anything that makes you feel small. It's about knowing when to walk away from people and situations that do not honor your value. It's about standing firm in your truth, even if it means standing alone. When you embrace your worth, you attract better. You stop chasing after things that aren't meant for you and start focusing on becoming the best version of yourself. You cultivate self-respect, confidence, and inner strength. And when you operate from a place of true self-worth, the world begins to respond differently to you. Opportunities align, relationships improve, and most importantly, you no longer feel the need to seek validation from anyone but yourself. Never let anyone make you feel like your worth is up for negotiation. It isn't. You are enough. Always have been, always will be. Life has a way of unfolding exactly as it's meant to, even when things don't go according to your plans. You may not always understand why certain people leave, why opportunities slip away, or why you face unexpected setbacks, but one thing is certain. The universe always has your back. Even in moments of confusion, pain, and uncertainty, everything is working in your favor, leading you to something greater. The key is to trust the process, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. It's easy to feel abandoned when life doesn't go your way. When you lose a relationship, a job, or something important, your mind instantly jumps to the conclusion that you weren't good enough. But what if rejection isn't a loss? What if it's a redirection? What if the very thing that's being removed from your life is making space for something far better? The truth is, the universe never takes away without a reason. When something leaves your life, it's because it no longer serves your highest good. You may not see it now, but in time, you'll look back and realize that what you thought was a setback was actually a blessing. Think about all the times in your life when things didn't work out the way you wanted, only to later realize that something even better was waiting for you. Maybe you were heartbroken over a failed relationship, but then met someone who truly valued and respected you. Maybe you were devastated over losing a job, only to find a career path that brought you greater success and fulfillment. These are not coincidences. They are proof that the universe is always guiding you toward what is truly meant for you. The challenge is that most people resist this process. They cling to what is familiar even when it no longer serves them. They fear change because they don't trust that something better is coming. But faith in the universe means letting go of control. It means understanding that just because things aren't going your way doesn't mean they're not going the right way. Trust that every closed door is protecting you, every delay is preparing you, and every loss is leading you to something greater. When you start believing that the universe has your back, you stop forcing things that aren't meant for you. You stop chasing people who don't value you. You stop begging for opportunities that aren't aligned with your purpose. Instead, you allow life to unfold naturally, knowing that what is truly meant for you will never pass you by. You learn to surrender, not out of weakness, but out of confidence, because you trust that everything is happening for your highest good. One day you'll look back and realize why certain things didn't work out. You'll see how every setback, every rejection, and every disappointment was actually a stepping stone leading you to where you were always meant to be. So don't stress over what's leaving. Trust the journey. The universe has your back.